I'm so tired of answering that question. I don't know. Well, it's like it started when I was writing a novel about this sort of character who is sent down from the heavens to save the world. But, he keeps falling in love and growing and he's getting distracted. And sort of about the panic of it in the heavens, about like how do we keep this guy from falling in love with girls. Anyway, and then around the same time there was a period where I was scientist sleeping, like sleeping for 3 hours, up for 6, sort of thing. So I'd wake up, and I was also coming up with a form of mathematics called magnetic zeros, where 0 is magnetic, and it's an addition. It's a form of addition. The 0 is magnetic, so 3 plus 4, depending on the magnitude of 0, could be whatever. And
it's science.
Yeah, it's science. You wouldn't know. I was a little weary of always telling people the name, and they'd be like, "What?" You know, like, "What was that? What?" And and it's fun also to tell people the name. What's the name of the band? It's Edward Sharpe. And before you can say "and," they're like, "Oh, cool." And then you're like, "And the Magnetic Zero." I think. Anyway.
So where does the sound come from, like, for you guys, as far as the creative process? How did the collective, how did we come together? Like, where's this coming from? Because everybody seems to love it. I love it. You know.
I mean, we read really bad comparisons. You know, I mean, that's where, like, I mean, it's not a bad comparison, but when we searched for stuff about you guys first off, and like, it's the Arcade Fire comparison that I don't really agree with. It doesn't really fit you guys.
Visit their album and see about that.
It's just a lot of I think it's a large ensemble, and there's a very there's a positive, you know, overtone.
But you guys smile a lot more than they do.
They're good though, man.
They are good. No, they really are good.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, it's like ketchup is red, and so are like fire engines.
Right.
They're like ketchup. Fire engines are like ketchup. I don't know.
Like what?
It's funny.
So who did, as far as like the writing process and the creative process, how does that work for you guys?
It's new now because now we're a band. Where before I was writing the album, so I wrote most of the songs on this album before I knew any of them. And except him, I knew since I was 3. But it was like writing a blueprint for like my future life, like a little wish list, and a vision of like a musical community in a way, like just the ideal sort of fantasy, I guess, like, you know, trumpets and, you know, and whatever, and strings, and lots of people in the background, like my friends all chanting along, like, you know, and you know, vastness and sort of like large landscapes and riding horses and freedom, and anyway, and then I guess because the music was there, the parts, like you build it, you know, you build it, and then it comes, sort of thing. Sure. It was like a big old empty house, and then as we started to record the album for real, like real people started coming in and filling in those roles, and then, you know, and I remember meeting like Orfeo, for instance, in a teepee, like, you know, by a fire, and at our friend Amion's house, and him playing percussion and being like, he's like one of the guys, he's one of the guys, you know, blah blah blah. And then I was hiking in Los Angeles, like running around, like being guided by this like friend of mine, voice, and he's like, go down now, cross, like, you know, go, like, scramble down the mountain to the next path. I scramble down, and I get there, and up along the horizon, like Orfeo's, you know, running. I just stopped him right in his tracks. I'm like, hey man, you remember me? Will you play with us? And Nora, met at Burning Man.
You know.
I actually did meet her at wedding band. One time I went to. And
today the man burns.
Is it today?
Literally today is the day.
How
the man
odd.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Christian had known since I was 3. So anyways, it all came together, and he was working with me on the songs to begin with. So, and then Aaron and Nico, we recorded at their place, and they had some friends, and they brought some friends in, and then we brought Josh in. And anyway, it happened. I basically booked us on the show without telling anyone, and it was like, hey, we gotta play a show, like, you know, let's pull it together, you know. And that ended up being the band. So basically, more or less.
Yeah. How do you think it's now? Like, you guys have like gotten to know each other, like more personally, musically, and stuff like that. And you're living together, you're touring around, sharing all the same experiences. How do you think that's going to color the next album, as opposed to having maybe?
It's going to be completely. I wouldn't say it's going to be completely different, because I think that we set it like a. I think the reason we're all doing this in large part, just beyond the personal like relationships that have developed, is the music. And that there's something about the music that I wouldn't want to put into a genre or a box or anything, but there's something about it, and that thread for sure will carry through, you know, through all our albums, and whatever that is. So it will retain, that will be there, whatever that is, and then everything around that will probably be different as we grow, you know, like.
But there'll still be the same underlying thread that brought everybody together.
I would imagine.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys been doing any writing or anything like that?
Yeah. We wrote we wrote us. We got so tired from Europe, like we were so exhausted, and we were fighting, and like it was crazy, man. Like it was trial by fire. Like there was. We were like, so the cards were so stacked against us to begin the tour that it's like, if I even told you, you'd just like start rolling over. Like,
how bad was it?
Oh, the cards, the way they were stacked?
Yeah.
The worst. The worst I can imagine. Okay, pretty much up there.
That's pretty extreme.
No, come on. Pretty much up there.
That sounds terrible.
Okay, from my experience, the worst I've ever experienced, the cards being stacked against you. Like, usually there's like an issue, and that's like the issue, and you deal with it. There was like maybe 3-4 like recurring issues.
Yeah, there were some recurring dramatic situations.
Yeah, but I'm setting it up as the worst because to let you know that we pushed through, and it is so rewarding to like push through that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Like, and it makes us a better band. It makes us better as friends and as a band, as a unit.
Yeah.
It's like real family.
Yeah.
Like everybody kind of gets down.
Yeah.
And this tour has been an initiation of sorts too, for all of us, and for some people in the band, it's the very first tour that they've ever done. So there's adjusting to those types of things, and but everybody's doing great. Everybody supports each other.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it's almost like a testament to you guys' like chemistry together? That you're so well received everywhere, like it
well,
seems
there definitely has to be. There must be some.
I don't know, but
chemically.
like again, like everybody's just like you said, like people who had never seen you before just come and have a great time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And do you think that's just you guys like collective energy? Just.
Well, I think also people just want to have fun right now, enjoy it, and be happy. And it's like some dark shit happening, so it's nice to have the hype.
Right.
People have gravitated towards that.
Including
And
ourselves.
Also, we're having
including ourselves,
we
like
play for people, but I think we play for ourselves so much, and we're all so excited to get up there and play for the benefit we get by the time we get off the stage for ourselves.
Yeah, we're just.
That's good.
And we've seen how negativity, has affected all of us in our own lives, and I think that one of the common threads that we all have is like we all really want to rise above being in a negative state of mind, and music is a great tool to transcend that, and having a sense of family. So there's working through that, and that's at least for myself, is a big initiative with playing these shows and kind of using it as an outlet to maintain a level of positivity. And I think that there's that intention is set a lot of the time I think when performing, so that just kind of manifests itself through that. And I'm not trying to do it, it just happens.
It's good.
It's also just not great if it doesn't happen. Like if the only way I think that that doesn't happen for some reason, and I really feel honored that this is the case, is if we're closed off, or if we're being self-censoring or something like that. Otherwise, when we open the floodgates, that is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what happens. Like the communication occurs between us and people watching and participating, and it becomes, the expression becomes complete, and the communication begins, and it is really, 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 it's really complete. You know what I mean? It's not a postured show. You know, so, and I was going to say that we pushed through, sort of the shit hit the fan in Europe in a really great way, you know what I mean? And it pushed us all it pushed me to the edge, you know what I mean? I did not know what to do with myself, but sit, you know, and luckily I got touched by an angel. It was amazing. That's another story. And anyway, and I think that we all sort of got tired in a really good way, and we just looked at each other and were like, okay, you know. And it's like, okay. And we got back and we played a few shows in New York, and then we played this show in Virginia, and we were so sort of relaxed that we just started. While I was talking, the band started playing some whatever. You guys started playing something. And then we just wrote a song right there, in front of, in the middle of the set, and did this whole, long, amazing song that we actually have recorded. And I think we're all already very much itching to be writing and creating this stuff. So, yeah. So I'm assuming that it'll actually happen sooner than later, and in the middle of this tour cycle, we'll already have recorded a new album.
Yeah.
So it'll all be overlapping, instead of blocks of now we write.
Sure, compartmentalize them.
Yeah.
Play this song.
Yeah, and Aaron and Nico, two of the other bandmates, they are in the process of finishing up a studio that they're building right now, and they're the ones who produced and engineered along with Alex the last album. It's out now.
Yeah, the new studio.
In their old studio. Now they're building a new one. Land in Glendale, so we'll have a nice facility, comfortable, homey vibe to record some more music in. So.
Nice, that sounds awesome. So, I mean, on the future, the horizon for you guys, where do you guys see yourselves? You're just gonna...
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to keep it present.
Trying to stay present,
Sure.
It's
just keep gratitude in this moment, so that the future always brings something, solid and positive.
Absolutely.
We probably have to go do your sound check, right?